Hello guys, and welcome back to another nostalgic video with Melodic and the Melodic series channel, I should say. We have something a little bit different than the usual uploads today, something that isn't Apple related. We have indeed the Sony PlayStation 2 console, guys. I mean, there's not much more else you can say about this other than a legendary console in itself. So to start off, guys, I can guarantee we all grew up with this console. In some way, shape or form, whether we've owned it, whether our friend had it, I can guarantee at least somebody in their life has experienced playing on one of these. I sure have. I literally spent most of my childhood around this console, which basically spurred me on to follow into the PS2 and PS3 and pretty much all the rest of Sony's gaming line. But yeah, not to waffle too much, I basically purchased this again in the local shop near me, the CEX shop, which there's multiple ones in the UK. I actually paid £75 for this console. Now, that could be debatable on some people. It was graded as unboxed, so there's three grades in the CEX shop. There is boxed, unboxed and discounted. Discounted being probably the less favourable condition. Unboxed is, it comes with everything original bar the box, pretty much. So I guess for the price of it, I've basically got the full package. So yeah guys, this is the console. So as you can see, I have the fat PS2, the first gen, originally released in 2000. It's phenomenal. This console is really, I swear, it stands the test of time, guys. I've been playing it recently. I'll go into how I've been playing it as well, because I've got some methods in terms of connecting this to a modern monitor or television. It's been phenomenal revisiting all the old titles, guys. So as you can see in the back there, I have some titles that I have been playing, some from my previous collection, a couple that I just picked up on the random whilst there. So I've been playing a lot of the old Sims games, The Herbs, Busting Out, Need for Speed Underground, phenomenal racing game, kind of spurred the start of the whole Need for Speed genre. Some say it was probably the best in the genre. I also had to go and pick up two memory cards, the 8MB ones. I actually forgot that you do need memory for these. They're not built in, so I ended up having to rush back out and get that. I wasn't planning to get one straight away, but because I seen one on offer and I could see the condition of it, it really was phenomenal. I mean, we take a look, the front is clean, there's nothing missing, it's still got that really nice kind of ridge design. It hasn't had any damage to the side or the back. It just has some cosmetic scratches around the back and the USB ports, etc. But really, looking at it, guys, it's a completely original, untouched, unspoilt console, and it runs perfectly fine as well. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, first of all, I can say the first thing I encountered was, how am I going to get this console playing on a modern system, or a modern screen, I should say. So basically, I picked up a Linkmore PlayStation to HDMI adapter. I'll put a link below to you guys, so you can pick one of these up as well. You'll be able to get one in Amazon. eBay has quite a few, or there might be other means you can kind of get the old component or composite cables to be converted. But ultimately, this is what I went for. It's the Linkmore PlayStation to HDMI adapter, and it comes as a complete set, guys. All you're basically doing is you're connecting the adapter to the back of the PlayStation 2. It has the original AV input in the back. You can plug that straight into the PS2. You then attach a HDMI cable into the back of your new HD TV or monitor. In this case, I have an Acer PC monitor. And then you have a USB power supply on the side of the unit. You basically just need to plug that into a 5V socket or any powered socket, essentially. It says it recommends doing it at an actual plug socket rather than just into the USB of the PlayStation. So I've got mine plugged into an old Apple charger socket on USB. And basically what it has, as you can see on the side, it has two ratios you can pick. You can have 16:9 or there's 4:3. So you can have the full 16:9 kind of full screen experience, playing these games in the new high saturated and highly contrast colours. It does look quite great actually when it's converted. It's not upscaled to HDMI, It's obviously converting it, so you're still seeing the original resolution. It's just basically making it compatible for the new platform. So yeah, it's been phenomenal, guys. It really does actually make you realise how far we've come in terms of graphic advancements, etc. And I'll be honest, playing some of these old games, I didn't realise that some of them actually looked, I don't want to say bad, but I didn't realise they actually looked like they do now. Again, it's down to what we've been used to and what we've become like accustomed to as we've grown with like the PS4 and PS5 and all this graphically intense titles. It really is. It's quite humble and nostalgic to see that's what we used to enjoy. And again, all of these games, guys, they're full games. Majority of the games you purchased back then, you were paying for a full game, no microtransactions. All the games you bought basically were full things. You could experience, you could play for hours and hours on end. I think vaguely, I don't actually remember completing some of my games, and then it wasn't till I grew up and replayed them, I realised, oh my god, like there's actually a lot of replay value in these titles. So yeah, again, just a nice nod back at the older times, the simpler times of gaming, pretty much. But my plans for this essentially are, I'm trying to build up the collection of games for it. So I'm actually looking for Guitar Hero Legends of Rock, if anyone remembers that title. Phenomenal game, really brilliant selection of tracks. I just need to find the actual bundle. It's proving quite hard. I'm not being able to find the adapters or the wireless receiver that goes in the front with the guitar and the actual game itself. I could probably get them separately, but it's just going to take a bit of time. But that's just one title I really do want to go back to and relive, and get myself another Kramer guitar basically, so I can shred and at least try and attempt Fire in the Flames on Extreme. But yeah, that's for the future. So here we are, the legendary interface screen. You met with the browser and system configuration options. I'll be honest, I used to find the intro to the PlayStation 2 quite scary as a kid, especially if there was the disk error sequence that used to come up. It was kind of that red glowing kind of orb thing that's similar to what you have now. It really is up there with like legendary startup screens. Obviously the PS1 had a very nostalgic kind of chord sequence, but yeah, it was quite weird because I wasn't expecting what to return to for the PS2. I didn't realise the system was this simple. I didn't realise there was the browser and the system configuration. For some reason I thought there was always something more, but yeah. Anyway, we'll dive right into it, guys. While we're here, we'll have a look at system configuration screen. So when you entered this, you had your clock adjustment settings, as you can see, perfectly normal and set fine. There's your screen aspect ratios, so obviously we're in full now. My monitor potentially could be downscaling it, so there are black borders around the edge. Your screen or HD TV, because this isn't actually a TV, will probably fill in the rest of it with its own inbuilt options. But for this, we've got full. You've got your 4x3, which is kind of what games usually ran in on the old CRT TVs, and then you've obviously got letterbox. But with the way my TV monitor is set up, there's not much difference in 16:9 or 4x3 other than the outer border regions. 16:9 is more of a letterbox in this case, but full is pretty much what you want, so you can at least experience all of it, and that's where your options were for that. Moving down, if you want your optical output for your audio, there is an optical port in the rear, so there is that. I don't have that, so I don't necessarily need that enabled, but it is there for you. These devices did have kind of Dolby output options. Obviously, originally you'd have your RGB or your YCB PBCR option. Normally with these converters they do say you can use the YCB PVCR. It didn't instruct me to do so, so I won't click it now in case it kind of turns the screen off, but RGB is what it kept it in. Some of these adapters you get to get them on monitors require you to put it to that option first on an old TV, because it will not display it on HDMI if you're on RGB. This is on other adapters, guys. The one that I've purchased and that I've linked works perfectly fine in RGB, so if you've bought this and you're doing the same as me, just keep it as it is. You're not going to see any difference with that, so you can leave that. And then finally, obviously English for me, so you've got your multiple options for that. I'm not going to try and change it because I'll end up getting lost in translation. So that's the system configuration screen for the PS2. If we move on now, back there, you can see there's an option for version. So what this was initially, it basically showed you the firmware for the browser, the CD player drive, the PlayStation driver, and the DVD player. I'm not sure whether these could be updated or if it literally just used to ship with certain versions. It does give you options for the PlayStation driver to change the disk speed. Again, not sure what the actual results are of this. If you guys know more about it than me, you might be more technical, you probably will have an answer for this. Texture mapping, you can go to smooth, which I guess I could put on smooth, and disk speed fast. I think that might just be the speed in which it's reading data. I'm not sure. Again, any of those technophiles out there who can kind of tell me more about this, or in the comments share their wisdom on it, what that means. There's options for it anyway. And there is the model number, so SCPH39003 is the console model number for the PS2 FAT. So that's that. We'll head into browser. Initially, if you had a disc in a PS2, the game would automatically load up and you would not be met with the browser screen. The browser screen functions as the options for your memory card, or if you were to put a disc in now, the disc will display on the screen for you. So if you click on your memory card, basically I've been playing just a couple games. I haven't saved some of the ones I've been playing because I was just testing them, but it tells you in the top left where your kilobytes are free. Again, just amazes me how we got by with such little amounts of data compared to the gigabytes we have now. So yeah, we've got corrupted data apparently, but I wonder what that's for. We've got Sims busting out, Need for Speed, and you had all of your save game files basically in these cards for you to access. So anyway, we'll pick a game and we'll see how it runs, just for nostalgia's sake. I'm not going to do a game review, but we'll have a little looky at the older screens and how it plays and etc, etc. So I think what I'll go with first is Simpsons Road Rage. So initially you put the disc inside, it will tell you that it's reading, and normally if your disc was unreadable on these, it would give you a message to say that it's not identified, but it has in this case, so you can just select your disc and press enter. Also the same, guys, this was a DVD player as well, so you could just watch it as a normal family DVD home device, similar to what kind of Sony adopts with their current devices they have now as like home media systems. Obviously this could only play games and films, so you weren't going to be doing anything other than that back in the 2000s. But still, it was a nice device to have in your living room. And here we are, we're on the splash screens for Simpsons Road Rage. And I'll be honest with you guys, the quality hasn't been upscaled, but for some reason to me, playing this on a sharper screen with like a better refresh rate, I mean, it's not HD, but picture colours and quality, and the sound is off just for the purpose of the video. It's nice and smooth, guys. There's no stuttering, there's no audio lag, the audio is in sync with each other. I'm going to skip that just so we can get into the game. Everything is working as it should, and it's a phenomenal thing to do if you're thinking of getting a classic console. So you don't want to lose your compatibility with the HD TVs, so these adapters are really a great way to get you back into these old systems. So here we are on the splash screen. Let's go on a Sunday drive and let's pick Homer. It's actually amazing. It's quite weird because like I said, I used to play Xbox for the Simpsons Road Rage around my cousin's house initially, so I never played this on PS2 until I got my own copy. So it was actually quite a strange feeling. I was expecting to press Xbox controls initially, so yeah, it was something quite weird to adopt to in that sense. And also you got to remember the difference in load times, the speed in which the drives could actually find the data. We had to wait for our games, guys, back in the day. So here we are, Sunday drive, Homer Simpson on a PS2, reliving an ultimate classic, Simpsons Road Rage, and it's playing beautifully on the Acer monitor I have. I recently got this monitor. It was actually an early birthday present from a partner. Basically, initially it's going to be used for my consoles. If I get any further classic consoles, I'm going to be hooking them up to this. Having HDMI inputs running through, I'll get splitters to get them on there. But yeah, it's really nice that I can actually experience these games in HD format, I guess, in on a HD screen. And they run smoothly, guys. Every game I've tested, I've went through all of them, but I'm just going to play this one now. Every game I've had, Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto, iToy, obviously the Simpsons titles, one of them now, they run smooth. So I really do recommend you guys to at least consider it if that's something you want. If there's a classic console you want in your collection, a PS2 has to be up there. It really does have to be up there. Again, you've got other games as well, like the Guitar Hero series, and another game series I forgot to mention, like SingStar and Buzz. Phenomenal family entertainment games. I remember countless family parties, whether it was at Christmas time or if you were at just like a gathering. The PS2 was there, and there was a SingStar set or a Guitar Hero set, etc., or even the Buzz quiz game. It kept everyone entertained for hours, and you don't see that anymore in modern gaming. You don't see that kind of connectivity with family. It kind of brings it back to like the Nintendo Wii days, where people were, families were playing on Wii Sports and whatnot. It's sad that we've kind of lost that generation of people, because there's nothing out there now that kind of like encourages kind of family play. Majority of what we have now is kind of shooters and the big role-playing games that you see, like Horizon and Elder Scroll titles, and obviously Grand Theft Auto is making its name, and Fortnite, etc. It's sad to see them genre of games going, like, disappearing in a sense. I mean, what I used to miss was going into the game shop and you'd see these big massive bundle boxes for like maybe, I don't know, SingStar, Guitar Hero, Buzz. You'd find the massive packs with all the accessories included. It was exciting. It was exciting to go and purchase these games, unbox them, play them with your friends. When your friends came around, you had games you could play in a group. Your split screen games had a lot of replay value back then. You'd just bring your controller over if you had a PS2 at home, and that would be countless hours. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much further on with that. This is just a little demo of Simpsons Road Rage playing on the PlayStation 2, guys. So yeah, really do recommend it. Get yourself an adapter, get yourself some games, relive these memories in these games. They're really worth playing. This is the PlayStation 2 Fat, guys, another collection of mine. I'm really happy to at least show you guys this. I'm really proud to have it in my collection. I will be building kind of like a ladder shelf next to this desk, where I'll be placing all my consoles, and I'll show you guys the development with that. I'm planning to do some things with this room, and you'll get to see a bit of a tour of the setup and what I'm doing. Keep you guys in the loop. And it'll be a nice little kind of gaming video editing nook for me. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching this episode, guys. It's been a pleasure. If you want to let me know your experiences with PS2, your favourite titles below, what you used to smash all the hours in playing, like what were you doing till like the early hours of the morning on a PS2 if you had one, or vice versa, if you didn't own one, what did you own on that similar kind of time scale? Were you an Xbox owner? What were you playing? What the consoles were you playing of the time? Obviously, there could be GameCubes, there was PS1 still around, your Game Boys, whatever. But for that era of the early 2000s, this was the console I had. This was the one I was using. And again, it's good to have it back in my hands. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you in the next video. Like the video if you really like it. Okay, have a good evening, guys. Take care. Bye bye.